Good morning and welcome to another Partner Focus Day in our platform, affectionately known as APTV, where we bring you the best and the greatest of what's happening in the world of AP. Very pleased this morning to be joined by Cameron Keenan, who is works for Quadient, one of our partners. So they have a tech stack called Beamworks, and they're very well known all across the world. But for those that haven't heard of Quadient at all, or not met them at our conferences, or not seen them out and about with us, Cameron, would you give our members and our social media audience an opportunity to understand what you do and how you do it, please?
Perfect. Morning, Mike, and thank you for the intro. Pleasure to be on this meeting with you. Quadient is actually going to be 100 years old this year, so we're expecting a big party to celebrate. But essentially, we are a market-leading communications and customer experience provider, where we have a broad range of products to over 400,000 customers globally. My role as account executive within Quadient AP, I help businesses transform the AP workflow and make the jump to automation from old, archaic, paper-processed AP workflows. We really specialize in giving AP teams more time back by removing data entry of invoices, streamlining your approval process, with inbuilt approval channels, capturing your expenses, processing payments. The list goes on and on. That's essentially what we do.
And I know you've got a great team, loads of support, and we'll touch on in a bit some of the USPs around why you're so good at what you do. But I mean, you do the full end to end, don't you, as a provider, which I guess plugs a lot of the gaps for many people. And we were talking about the fact that it doesn't matter what ERP system or finance or accounting software you may run on, because you integrate with everyone. Is that right?
Essentially, yeah. So we are ERP agnostic. We have direct connectors with your mainstream ERP solutions: QuickBooks, NetSuite, Business Central, Sage Intacct. List goes on. Xero. But if you are on a niche ERP system, we have a really simple built-in CSV integration as well, so we can automate pretty much anybody in the market at the moment.
Well, that's reassuring for anybody who's looking at transforming their business. And I know there will be some resources down below. Charlie and the marketing team has furnished us with lots of good content, so keep an eye on what's coming out later in the day. In terms of the market presence and stuff going on, I know you've got a load of events coming up, haven't you? I mean, I think the Countex in May, some others in June.
Yeah, they like to keep us busy. We're constantly doing events, going to webinars. As I said, Countex in May, and then I think we have the P2P event in June. We run weekly webinars and mainstream webinars at the end of every month. So yeah, please click on our website. We'd love to have a webinar with you and showcase what we can do, really.
Well, I'm going to bring up a banner at the bottom now, just to announce the launch of our own website refresh, where obviously we've got a load of stuff in the resources hub, a lot of your content, your section, the Quadient resource area. I know Charlie's been busy with my colleague Paige in making sure that we've got the up-to-date stuff, and you've got some more stuff coming in on digital transformation, AI. There's a lot going on in our world, but yeah, apassociation.com for those who haven't checked it out already. Enough of that. So, in terms of the challenges facing our members, the cycle, as you know, from month to month, week to week, it can be quite overwhelming to actually step back and look at how you actually make strategic change in a business. One of the things that we were talking about, and I know you're very good at, is helping people understand where those opportunities might exist.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I typically speak to clients and they sit in one of three camps. The first camp is that they're at a crossroads. Their AP team right now is stretched too thin. They now need to make a critical decision. Do they automate or do they hire somebody else? Camp two, the AP workflow is manageable, but it's taking significant time away from higher value tasks, things like accounts receivable, months end reporting, forecasting, vendor management. How can they actually create time saving and reallocate that time? And camp three, the business is going through significant change, significant growth. How are they going to make sure that AP is scalable, is manageable, and how do they actually then support that growth? They're the three typical camps people sit in and why they should automate. But it's really about creating a business case and really about understanding what are you doing within that workflow right now? What is taking up way too much time, and how can we actually look at ways to give you that time back? Whether that's through OCR, data capture technology, approval matrices, and getting that data cleaned up and accurate back into your finance system. So we can look at all those key sections, figure out how much time we spend in it, how much time we could save, and what that looks like in a pound dollar value on the money coming back into the business.
Well, every year we unpack some of the strategic issues at our event at the House of Lords, and you'll be joining us again this year. Consistently, breaking down the silos seems to be one of the core themes, along with obviously payments accuracy, fraud, and supplier management as well. But in terms of the integrated nature of your solution, like you say, you're able to take all of the various process workflows together, aren't you? There are some gaps that other systems typically leave unaddressed. Do you want to just speak into that briefly?
Yeah, definitely. Well, the market is saturated. There are a lot of providers out there, and some of the key challenges people face is they get paralyzed with the amount of decisions or providers that are out there. One thing that's really strong about Quadient AP is that we can pretty much automate the entire workflow, whether that is your POs, expenses, payments, or just simple invoice capture and data and approvals. We're able to do that across the entire workflow. But what's really key about our system is extremely easy, extremely user-friendly. We believe anybody can go onto our system, whether they have a financial background or don't. They can start automating their workflow with little or no training. That's probably the key areas that we have. We can automate the entire workflow, but extremely easy.
Well, what's not to like? Everyone wants easy software, and the challenge is some software can be that capable it becomes a bit of a wood for the trees thing, and you lose your way. I worked in a different life, worked in SAP, and it's just hard work. It's a great software platform, no detriment to SAP whatsoever, but it's for finance people, and having easy to use software and reducing that obstacle, that barrier to adoption is hugely important. One of the things that we were talking with Charlie about just before the call was the nature of, obviously, 100 years in business. That's pretty impressive. But you support all areas, don't you, as a provider? Well, multi-site, multi-region, multi-currency. Just give us a bit of an idea about your reach. 400,000 customers, that's a lot of customers.
Yeah, definitely. So Quadient is a big, large enterprise giant. We have offices all around the globe. With Quadient AP, we really focused heavily within America, within UKI, and within Europe. So we can automate multi-currencies, multi-legal entities. That, again, is probably another strong point of ours. I think another typical challenge people see if they are big multinational business, they have to log in and out of their ERP, in and out of instances, just to have access to data in the UK, data in Germany. We're able to consolidate that all within one platform, all within one dashboard, so you can access your entire business with a click of a button and have instant reporting, instant data as well.
And also when we were talking about the types of like members watching this, if they sit within large enterprise companies and they're working on, JD Edwards or Cooper or SAP, you can integrate with that. But equally, in the smaller space, the small to medium enterprise, the mid-market space, your solution is affordable and deployable in the smaller end as well as the larger end. Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely. So there's a sweet spot we see automation, and we sort of measure that in terms of how many invoices you're processing. And we see if you're processing roughly about 75, maybe to 100 invoices, now could be a good time for you to automate. That's when you're going to see a return on investment with the platform. Our sweet spot, we're looking to automate people roughly with 200 to 1,000 to 5,000 invoices a month. There really isn't a limitation on there. It's just a matter of figuring out where you're going to see that return on investment, and around 75 to 100 is probably that point where automation could now really benefit your business.
Perfect. Well, I think that captures pretty much everything. As an intro, there's lots more we could delve into, and there'll be opportunities throughout the year to come back on and join us on APTV and tell us what you're doing, because we'd love to hear about that. Obviously, we're going to see you at the conference this year, more than likely, and you'll be supporting us at a number of other events online and face to face. So, Cameron, thank you for your time. Big thanks to Charlie and the team for making it happen, and we look forward to seeing you out on the road in 2024.
Awesome, Mike. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.